How do you configure Launch.json for multi-root workspaces in Versus code? Imagine juggling multiple projects in one workspace and wanting to debug them all smoothly. Visual Studio Code makes this possible with some simple setup. When working with multiple folders, you can set up debugging configurations that work across all of them. First, you need to understand that in a multi-root workspace, you open a special file called a .code workspace file. This file lists all your project folders and can hold shared settings. Each folder can also have its own folder-specific debug configuration file called Launch.json. Versus code looks for these Launch.json files in each folder's hidden folder named .vs code. It also checks the workspace file for any shared debug settings. When you start debugging, the editor gathers all these configurations and shows them in the debug menu. Folder-specific configurations are labeled with the folder name, so you know which project they belong to. Workspace-level configurations are listed without any folder suffix, making it easy to run tasks that involve multiple folders. To set this up, open your .code workspace file. Inside it, you will see a list of folders under a key called Folders. You can add a new section called Launch where you define your shared debug configurations. For example, you might add a configuration to launch a node application in the first folder and another in the second folder. Use variables like $curly brace workspace folder folder named to point to the right project folder. This way, your debug configurations stay flexible and adaptable to different workspace locations. In folder-specific Launch.json files, the variable $curly brace workspace folder always points to that folder's root. But in the workspace file, you can specify $curly brace workspace folder name to target particular folders. This setup helps you run code in one project or multiple projects at once. You can also create compound configurations that launch multiple debug sessions together. For example, you might want to debug a front-end and back-end project simultaneously. Just add a compound section with the names of the configurations you want to run together. To get started, open your workspace file and add a launch section. Inside, define configurations for each folder using the $curly brace syntax. You can keep folder-specific Launch.json files for more detailed settings if needed. When you open the debug panel, you will see all your configurations listed, ready to run. This method makes debugging multiple projects easier and faster, especially when bugs span across different parts of your workspace. By organizing your Launch.json files this way, you gain full control over how you debug your multi-project environment in Visual Studio Code.